How are you doing? This is Martin from Gardens for Life. So as you can see, it's getting colder because I've upgraded jacket officially now for the winter. It's the end of October. I want to give you a quick update on our pizza garden and how things are actually coming to a close in this growing season here now. A lot of these tuberous plants that are not frost hardy, as you can see behind me here. Here's, for example, the yacon in flower and some ullucus and ochas here on my other side. You will find that they look nice now and they have really nice flowers, but once the first few frosts actually come in November, then they will reseed into the ground, and then we got something else to look forward to, and that is it's tuber season. And if you guys are interested in actually buying a few tubers from us, we have them for sale on our website, and I'll give you a discount code for 15% off down here. So it's just as part of the pre-sale. And we like to thank you very much for your support. So this garden here was basically was set up as no dig, and as you can see in our other videos, you'll see how we made it and how the progress had been going. 2 months after planting, it had been fairly filled in already, and as you can see, the paths are almost covered now. A lot of the paths are. So we'll just go around. There's 12 slices to cover, 12 pizza slices or beds, garden beds. And some of them we're not so proud of, but we want to show them to you nevertheless. So actually it's kind of hard to find a way into the middle at this point, because as you can see, the ullucus here, it's kind of a very rubbery sort of leaf. It's actually kind of similar to a potato, but it looks a lot different, and it's a different type of plant. But we find them very hard to get in Europe, so we've been investing in a few and actually been growing them. Hopefully we'll be able to offer them to you guys too at some point, maybe even this tuber season coming. As you can see here, there is even courgettes are actually still going, and they're not that small, the courgettes either. And there's a few here that are still growing in the last few weeks, and we didn't get to them yet, which is great. We can always give them to the chickens, they love them. Here you can see there should be a path here, but of course we didn't really need the path that much, and we'll let the plants take over, and they're all going to die back in the frost now, and then we can walk on the path again. So these are actually the ochas. Unfortunately, the flowers are actually closed at the moment because it is getting dark outside. Here's some more. These are actually Paskov, that's the name of the variety. As you can see here, there's loads of flowers, but unfortunately they're closed at the moment. Maybe I'll throw in a picture of an ocha flower into the video. Here's some yacons. These are white yacons, and it's actually my favorite for the tubers themselves, the consistency. And here's the flowers. As you can see, they're really nice. They're kind of like a giant daisy. They have a slight sweet smell to them, and I'll just show you here. So we have actually these new Tuberous Leeks actually that we're going to plant. I'll put the name into the description here, or just put a label in on the video. Well, these here we'll be planting in our onion bed, which has been freed up over here, and I'll just show you that. Here's another courgette. But you can see overall this garden has done very well for as little effort as has gone into it. We have an oregano plant here. We have some giant kohlrabis here. I know you might think these have gone woody, but they have not actually. They're actually very good to eat still. And here's some more. We've got lots of kohlrabis here. The broad beans I wouldn't plant here again. I still didn't harvest them, but they're still okay. Oh, here's Sheldon the cat. He's always protecting our crops from the old mice. And here there was some broccoli in this patch here, and it just went to seed straight away. It went to flower rather than forming heads, so we won't be trying that variety anymore. I think it was Waltham was the name of the variety. But you can see here, this bed here, which Sheldon is using as a walking space at the moment, as a path. We're going to plant the Orpheus, I believe is how you pronounce it, the Tuberous Leeks. Here's a rosemary plant and some Portuguese kale that I actually stuck as cuttings into the ground And you can see they were absolutely enormous considering they were planted in between the onions. Look at the size of the leaf compared to my hand. Amazing stuff. You don't even have to grow them from seed, but we usually do anyway, just because it's handier. And here's loads of Dinosaur Kale, or Black Tuscany. You can also call it shelled, and I keep tripping over them. Go on. Go on. Now he's lying down. So we also have some Dahlias on the other side here. Here you can see a few different colours of Dahlias. You can also eat the tubers of those, but we like to have a bit of colour in the garden too and actually invite the insects. This is red Russian Kale, and we've plenty more of that over in the other garden. This is actually where the compost pile used to be, and we'll show you that in a separate video. And that has been transitioning from potatoes into kale, basically, and cabbages, so into brassicas. So it's absolutely crazy how much kale you can get out of one bed, one garden bed. And these beds are about 5 meters long by about 1.20 meters on average, or 4 foot. And you can see that the ochas tend to grow very tall. Look how long the stems are. And of course the storm we had the other day, or actually I should say about 4 weeks ago, blew them over onto the paths. Here's some leeks growing in among them. We also had some Egyptian onions which have been completely smothered by the ochas, unfortunately. So we're going to do Egyptian onions again next year, but in their own bed. Here is some cauliflowers which we didn't harvest on time. So some of them actually kind of went to flower, but 1 or 2 of them are still good to harvest. We did eat a few of them and they're really delicious. We have lots of celery here. So you can see here, we just basically sprinkled the seeds, and remember with celery the seeds need light to germinate, so don't cover them. And we ended up with a whole big patch of celery without doing any work for it, basically, other than setting up the bed below. Here's a chocolate mint in between the celery, in among the celery, which was kind of a strategic move so that it doesn't spread as quick. But at the same time we don't mind, because we want the rhizomes to grow more plants. Here's the other variety of yacon, and this is the red, New Zealand red variety. Look at that for a flower. Let's take a picture of that. Here's some ullucus, which is another variety of the one from earlier. Here is a bed with purple sprouting broccoli and some fennel at the end. So we're going to harvest the seeds from the fennel, and we can also use the leaves for medicinal purposes, like an upset stomach, for example. The American elder is also in there at the end here. Can you see it? Right here. That's an American elder tree from Florida, actually. That's the variety, and we're going to be taking cuttings from that as well. Here is another bed of ochas. As you can see, they're extremely healthy. They did really well. I expect we're going to have a huge harvest of ochas this year. It usually takes 6 weeks at the end of the growing season for the tubers to actually really to be pumping their energy into the tubers. And yeah, hopefully they'll do well. Let's see, we have lots of other tubers and ochas, even 10 different varieties of ochas in different microclimates planted around our gardens. So we'll see how they do. Here's some beetroots, and you can see some of them got a little too big, but I assure you that they're still excellent for eating. They're not gone woody at all. And here you can see there's loads of them. And our little experiment with the weather stone, as a friend of ours called it, it's just basically a tripod weighed down by a rock in the middle, and on each end, on each of the sticks we have some Apios plants actually planted, but I think they just need to be planted indoors, so we won't be growing Apios outdoors anymore. Yeah, we'll go this way. I would highly recommend this kind of a mixed color, rainbow kind of colors of beetroot. It's really good because you get these kind of ones here. They're kind of orange and they're stripy in the middle when you cut them open. Then you have these cylindrical types. So there's loads of different varieties in it, and they're really nice like that. With the pat, we had to keep the nettles and creeping buttercup in check. As you can see here, the creeping buttercups always come into the wood chips and onto the pat, and the only thing to do with them is pull them up and slow them down. And here's another one. Luckily they're easy to pull up though, even if they do root into your wood chip pat. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the whole garden here. We're absolutely delighted with this pizza garden of ours. It's just keeping on producing, and we're very happy with it anyway. And we've been eating a lot of produce from it as well. And there will be a lot of produce that will be left there over the winter, which can be harvested basically any time of the year. A lot of, especially the brassicas, that's the type of thing that you can kind of leave there, especially even. We didn't actually plant any carrots in this particular garden, but we will next year because we'd like to have carrots closer to the house. And beetroots are another thing that I would highly recommend growing, especially in the second half of the growing season, so that you can keep those in the garden over winter without actually digging them up and storing them in your shed and taking up space. Because actually they'll be fine outside. We've been harvesting beetroots now every winter basically until about February. But we just need to grow more of them because they're an excellent addition to winter soups especially. So thanks for watching. Let us know what you want as a next topic for the next live session. We'll put up a post on our Facebook page about it along with this video. So just let us know. Thanks very much and see you next time. And please give us a share or like or subscribe. Thanks a million. Bye bye.